Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I love to hear you all. Shabbat Shalom. Please sing along throughout the service. Clap when you want. All right. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our services. We're so glad to see many of you. When we start out, we think, well, is anybody even going to come? It's very, very off-season. And then when we looked at YouTube last week and saw that there were 200 people watching, we thought, we better show up and at least wave to everybody who's on Coast to Coast. Thank you for doing those services out at Pearl Harbor last year. That was wonderful. Good to see you back. And for everyone, and our neighbors on Wild Ridge, what could be better? We could hold services up there. It would be nice. Glad to have you. And you guys are going to be busy in just a moment. Cantor Michelle is in the desert doing some kind of a thing.
She's camping. It's not a Burning Man. It's a building man, something where they go and they build something for the environment. They contribute and they leave it, and nicely done something.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
Well, Cheryl is with us, and thank you for being with us. We're going to start with the lighting of our candles. If anyone would like to come up and light candles for us.
I'll do the blessing. All
please.
you have to do is light.
Thank you. May the Shabbat candles that we now light inspire us to see justly and gently, to look honestly and with kindness, and to see what is holy in each other.
One of them didn't go. You can light the other one.
We always do the strict candles.
I know. Will you sing it too? Oh, great. There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Turn in our prayer books to page 4 at the bottom of the page. Hinei matov, how good and pleasant it is for us to be together and for us to be with all of you. We join together.
Hinei
matov u'manayim,
shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim, shevet achim
we'll turn to our prayer books to page 8 at the bottom of the page. We'll continue responsively with our family prayer. May we never take for granted the gift of Shabbat as we sit nestled in the Rocky Mountains, sharing this humble moment with family and friends. May the satisfaction of celebrating Shabbat hearten our spirits. Let Shabbat peace bring quiet to our souls. Allow this time set aside for song and prayer to bring us closer together in thoughts and deeds. Let space we share become our place of devotion, glowing with reverence and filled with our traditions. May the end of this week encourage us to examine our actions and let us look ahead toward the new week. Be worthy of all of God's blessings. Continue to the top of page 8 as we welcome the angels of peace and join together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Can I just say how amazing everybody sounds tonight?
I know, this is like our high holiday choir.
This
Just
is
come
awesome.
back. Exactly.
Keep singing at me.
You really have to want to come to services at this place because we have every door that's either barricaded or torn up. So I'm glad that you found a side entrance to come into and really want to be here. Well, as we turn to page 12 at the top of the page, Psalm 121, it says, Sa'inai, as we lift our eyes to the mountains, from where does our help come? We'll join together, page 12.
Sa'inai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Sa'inai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai. Oseh shamayim va'aretz, Ezri me'im Adonai. Oseh shamayim va'aretz, Sa'inai el harim, me'ayin yavo Ezri. Sa'inai el harim, me'ayin yavo Ezri.
Well, there is a saying in the Talmud that says, don't separate yourself from the community. And that's why it's so wonderful when all of you come together. And for Lecha Dodi, we're going to turn to page 16. There are many different tunes. It takes us back to the 16th century to the town of Tzfat. This was the center of Jewish mysticism when it was written to say we welcome the Sabbath bride, and we have all different tunes that we choose. There was one that we had that we sang in Amsterdam when we were there in the winter. The synagogue was packed. It was the same synagogue that was Anne Frank's father, Otto Frank Synagogue. And it was the most haunting noise of a sound of everybody singing together, much like tonight. Our tune tonight is?
It's from Kol HaNeshama Synagogue in Jerusalem.
Worldwide, that's what we are.
I think you'll recognize it.
Okay.
I try not to do too new. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shemo tiferet v'liti la lechadodi Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nisucha Sof ma'asaseh b'machshavat tchila Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And we turn to page 18, the bottom of the page. Rise and face the doors.
Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzehola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We'll turn to the back of our prayer books on page 74. We have those verses taken from the book of Exodus, that God is the source of my strength, my courage, and he's become my deliverance. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, page 74, Exodus 15.
Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi li lishua. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi lishua. You can stay on that part if you want. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi lishua. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi lishua. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi lishua. I think there's somebody who wants to come in the door.
Oh, we locked them out.
She just walked away.
Probably didn't pay their dues. See,
We didn't give her the code.
one of the security things we have is that all the doors automatically lock now, which is really nice. Except if you want to come in. Well, on page 23, we have that wonderful reading from the Boston Globe written in 1921. I guess if you went to a library and you looked up the Boston Globe, you'd have to use what, microfiche, that thing we used to use in the old days, where you'd look, and this is Dr. Crane Says, just for today. Annette, we're welcoming you back to you brought all the warm weather from Florida back with you, so this is nice, if you'd lead us responsively.
Sure. Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once.
Just for today, I will be unafraid of life and death, unafraid to enjoy the beautiful and be happy. People are as happy as they make up their minds to be.
Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is, and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have.
Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable, do my best, praise people for what they can do, not criticize them for what they cannot do. If I find fault, I'll forgive it and forget it. I'll try not to improve nor regulate anybody except myself.
Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision.
Just for today, I'll get people off my nerves and not get on theirs. I will appreciate them for what they do and what they are.
Just for today, I will not show it if my feelings are hurt.
Just for today, I'll find a little time for quiet, to relax, and to realize what life is and can be. Time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself.
Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonder of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me.
Thank you. So this is kind of like preparation for your bat mitzvah? Kind of, okay. And where in France is it taking place? Marseille. And everyone is invited.
That's rough.
We're going to turn page 24 in our prayer books as we rise, join together in the call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
You'll recognize the tune. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
May be seated and just stay here for a moment. We're going to have you do Shema, right?
Yeah.
But let's do a little English reading in between. We have this wonderful reading, page 29, called Places and Spaces. And it talks about, actually, the way we wrote this, because all the English we had to write, is our daughter was at CU Boulder and had to write a paper on makom. And what does makom mean? So, of course, we get involved in the writing because she's not going to write this alone. And we talked about what is makom and what's the difference between a place and a space. And then she probably got an A on the paper because then we turned this into a reading that we would use every Friday night. See if you can see how this would be a college university paper, page 29 responsively. This space we share on Shabbat Eve, may we never forget the holiness of makom, this place, because we gather together in a beit tefillah, a house of worship. This space we share, Shabbat Eve, may we never forget the lessons learned in the place, because
This here that we
gather together a Beit Midrash, a house of study. This space we share on Shabbat Eve, may we never forget the friendship within Makom, this place, because it's here that we gather together in a Beit Knesset, a house of meeting. The space we share on this Shabbat Eve, may our doors always be open to the lonely that hunger for love, and greet them with welcoming Shabbat Shalom. This space we share on Shabbat Eve, may we always be aware that all faiths share Makom, this place, and there's holiness in their worship as in ours. The space we share on this Shabbat Eve, may we
always be a place where music inspires our souls
and warms our hearts. Page 30, I'm glad you didn't go away. You're going to lead us in the Shema, the top of the page.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinartam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shavlecha u'kumecha u'shartam le'ot al yadecha V'hayu totafot beinenecha, u'tachtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha. Leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, le'ol lachem le'elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Thank you.
Oh,
you guys
boy.
are ready.
Well done.
Well, we turn to page 32. As the waters closed upon the pursuing Egyptians, they sang joyfully, Micha Mocha, middle of page 32.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai la lai la lai la 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 Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha mocha netar b'kodesh Norat tehi lo sefele Norat tehi lo sefele Yai lai Yai lai lai la lai la 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 Yai lai lai la lai la 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 Yai lai lai la lai la 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 Yai la lai la lai la 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 Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha mocha netar b'kodesh Norat tehi lo sefele Norat tehi lo sefele Yai lai lai la 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 yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai.
Well, this Shabbat evening we seek peace and comfort. We ask, dear God, that you shield us from hatred and destruction that plagues so many corners of the world and console those in need. The top of page 34, we choose the tune from Annette. You're back, so we know which one you want. We join together.
Taubman's song.
Yes, otherwise we hear about it. So please, this is to you.
It's Greg Taubman's, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Ushmor tzeiteinu Uvo
לחיים ושלום, מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Well, taken from the book of Exodus, we read how in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth. On the seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. Page 36 will join together Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Well, there are those in our community who are in need of healing of body, mind, or spirit. And if you have someone in your life that is in need of healing, in just a moment, please feel free to share their name aloud as we move about the sanctuary. Page 38 at the top of the page, Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. We ask for full blessing for healing of Carolyn Ano, Emil Ano, Lynn Ambrose, and Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Jackie Cohen, Linda Colin, Blanche Deutsch, Lynn Deutschman, Carol Ann Finn, and Jane Friedman, Betty Ann Gaynor, Don Gerstein, Deborah Goldman, and Mike Herman, Ken Imler, Ra'ea Ivri, Donald Jaffe, Harriet Jaffe, Warren Janowitz, Mary Sue Katz, Skip Clowens, Herman Keek, Brian Kushner, and Renee Myers, Stephen Reese, Daniel Rosen, Chip Ruth, Roberta Scheller, Sam Schwartz, Bernie Shavitz, Ann Sheldon, Bill Silvers, Dina Stempler, and Ellen Stone, Mark Strauss, Maury Strauss, Alan Tenenbaum, Rita Weinstein, Tevi Wellens, Brian Wilson, and Mickey Winokur. Thank you. Thanks. Shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We'll turn to page 40 in our prayer books and rise and continue with the Reader's Kaddish.
You're waiting for me.
That's okay. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabba b'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uchayei d'chol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv himeru. Amen. Yeshmei Rabba mevarach le'alam olam me'omaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'meru. Amen. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. So continue the top of page 42, and then silently through page 57.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
During the Yom Kippur War, there were two students living in their apartment in Boston. They said that they wanted to write a song. One was going to become a cantor, the other a rabbi, and they wanted to write a song that would be part of the liturgy but also speak to everyone during this war. And they came up with they used the words from Shalom Rav and came up with a tune that's universal. Go anywhere in the world and you hear what they have now been able to put together. Cantor Jeff Klepper and Rabbi Dan Friedlander wrote this beautiful song. We're going to join together, page 54.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu
Adon Lechol HaShalom
Shalom Rav Yisrael
Elamcha Tasim Leolam
Shalom Rav
Yisrael Amcha
Tasim Leolam V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Thank you.
That goes back to a lot of years. We met
I'm not old
in
enough, but
Nifty
people
and
told me
learned
about
this
it.
song. Wow.
No, it's wonderful.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Well, our rabbis wrote that if there was a single word to describe what it is that Jews have strived for 3,000 years, they wrote and they said the word would be kadosh. We strive for the word to be holy. No word appears more times in the Bible, and there's no concept that's probably more significant. Now, the Torah, if we were to look at our portions, which are divided every week, this is Kadoshim this particular week, we read, Kadoshim to you, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall be holy, for I, your God, am holy. So over 2,000 years, the rabbis constantly invoke God's holiness in the world, but they never really explain to us, but what does it mean to be holy? Simply different forms of kadosh or holiness. Friday night we say kiddush, which is the prayer over the cup of wine announcing the arrival of Shabbat. At the end of our service we say kaddish, again magnified and sanctified of God's holy name. We have holy days like Shabbat, all the holidays, festivals. We have holy places where especially aware of God's presence. But finally, we're taught that we must be holy in our daily lives. So what does it mean to be holy? Well, the Talmud talks about a holiness code. The essential principles, they say, of Judaism are found within this code, not only within the Ten Commandments, but the essential teachings they describe, this is back in the 2nd century, they say our way of life should be provide for the needy, don't lie, pay the laborer a fair wage and pay him at the proper time. Don't insult or hurt the disabled. Don't stand idly by to someone who's in trouble. Forgive others and don't hold a grudge. And finally, love your neighbor as yourself. So, as you listen to these teachings, you could say, well, there's really nothing Jewish about any of these. These laws apply equally, we know, to all faiths and to all people. These teachings don't make us holy, but they simply mean also that we're not criminals. So again, the question comes up, what does it mean to be holy? Rashi, he's the medieval commentator, says, and this is the one that I like, holiness is being separate and standing apart. He says, if you really wish to be holy, we must separate ourselves from the enticements of the world. Modern society has provided us with so many gifts, and it's exposed us to so much that's questionable as well. In some cases, even those that are evil. So how do we strive for such holiness in the world? Well, Professor Solomon Schechter, he was one of the great Jewish scholars of the 20th century, he once asked, where are the Jewish saints? In other faiths, you have a long list of saints. Churches are named after saints. Where are the Jewish saints? Then he answers his own question, as he was known to do. He said, Jewish saints don't live apart from their neighbors. You find them in the very midst of your community. They're not raised on a special pedestal, because a Jew can work as a doctor and be a saint, or the Jew can work as a laborer and be a saint. And we're told, be holy, and you can become holy by learning how to live in a world with compassion, integrity, and most of all, a sense of justice. You care for the needy, you help others, you don't use words to defame or humiliate others, but you live with integrity. So the challenge that we face today, we're challenged not just to be good, but also to strive to be holy. And holiness is more than goodness, but it's godliness. It's having a life that's grounded in principles and making judgments that are based not on what's popular. Again, these judgments are not based on what's popular, but what's right. It's learning to respect others, but not be afraid to speak up when you believe something's wrong. Holiness is not where, but it's how you live. And holiness is learning the sanctity of life every moment, in every relationship, and with every object that we touch. So in the words of our Jewish mystics, they said holiness is finding the sacred sparks that are in all things and then learning to release them. To be holy is to be a blessing to yourself, to others, and then to spread that word out to the world. Amen. Well, I could never get through all these announcements, but Janet put a lot of work into all these dates, and I know I'm going to forget one of them that's the most important. But if you start going through this and look at many of the activities that we have, you'll have a very busy summer. You don't need to do much else. Apart from when we said we were going to clean up the Leadville Cemetery, which we do every year, and it's an amazing experience, we thought, well, we should back up to the Friday night, and that's when we came up with Bluegrass and Boots Shabbat, where Cantor Michelle is putting together a whole group of music. We'll have an hour of music downstairs before we start, and then somehow she's integrating that into our service, and that's in June. We have a lot of our Creekside services. As you look outside, they say they will be done. We'll be here and in other places, and we'll be out by the creek for some amazing services. One of them, which really ties into what we're doing here, is if you have heard about or seen on television Stand Up to Hate. It's the little blue square that they are starting to show. This is from, what's his name? Kraft of the Patriots. That he started this. Yes, I know, David. One of your big fans. We have Boston back here. So we're going to be handing out the little blue pins, and the whole service will be devoted towards stand up against Jewish hate, and I think it'll be truly amazing. Of course, we have the mountaintop services and many speakers. One of them they say is quite exciting is Bill Browder coming, and hopefully he'll be privately with us as well as with a larger group, and he exposed all this stuff about Russian money laundering and all kinds of things. He's number one on the hit list for Putin. So it's definitely going to be an interesting talk. And go through some of these others that we have on here. Jan, is there anything else you want me to highlight on this? July 10th. Yes, we did that last year, and it was wonderful. We could only have about 35 people. We have morning sessions. I think there's about 8 different things that we do. And then we start with breakfast, of course. Then we have sessions. Then we have lunch, then we have some more sessions, and then Cantor Michelle, together with Colleen, is going to do a whole musical concert like she did last time. And every session is a little bit different. For instance,
we have cooking and photography and hiking and yoga.
It should be wonderful. It's wonderful. It's going to be a great Monday. And we're doing it here because last time when we did it in a home, we only had room for 35 people. Here we can take in about 100 people. And we're looking forward to that and so much more. I'm not even going to talk about the services on the mountain because we know about those. And for those of you that do want to come, in order to make it fair, it would be kind of nice. You were the loyal ones who showed up tonight, so we'd say, I'll let you sign up. Just tell me. But we can't do that or I'd get in trouble. So what we do is 2 weeks before the event opens, we go to sign up Monkey or something. Sign Up Genius, and you can sign up for these events, and then when they're closed, they're closed. And that way everybody gets a chance to be able to attend some great things. Mike Coleman, our neighbor, is here with us, visiting from Fort Worth. Thank you for being with us. And you brought your neighbors. This is like all of Wild Ridge is here. This is one, if you'd like to introduce. And you also share homes, just like we don't live in the same home, but we share a wall between the homes. And welcome back to so many of you. It's wonderful to see you. Rabbi Rebbitzin, great to see you. It was wonderful when Hawaii said to me, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Who's willing to come out for the high holidays and those 10 days in between to spend that time at Pearl Harbor? I said, I know the perfect rabbi just to do that. Me, but I'm not, but I wasn't available. So I'm glad you were able to go out there, and I know it was greatly appreciated, and not a bad place to go. If I said, well, we're going to send you to Des Moines, you might have liked going, but not as much as Honolulu. So we're glad to have that with you. Thank you. That was wonderful. We can count on you every time.
Huge.
Is your service, obviously, it's going to be in Hebrew and French? Wow, okay.
And
Are you working on your
need a song
French?
leader for your service, right? To Marseille, right?
Wow.
I'm there.
So you sing Adon Olam to Marseille. That's the song. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Sir Nivra.
Is that the tune we're doing tonight?
Isn't it like that? I don't know the whole song, but that's what you have to practice for when you do it. Okay. And thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for coming back, and please introduce your friend.
Oh, my friend Deb. We've known each other since we were about your age. We met in youth group, in Nifty Youth Group many years ago, and we're sisters from another mister or something like that. I mean,
Thank you.
We've been best buds ever since.
And thank you to all of you who are tuning in and watching. We're so glad to have you with us and joining from coast to coast. It sounds like one of those radio shows or something, but we're glad to have you with us. We'll return to our prayer books now, page 60. We'll rise and join together. Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol amonam, anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. At this moment, in memory of our loved ones who are no longer with us, we join hands in love and remembrance. A link has been broken in the chain that bound us together, yet strong bonds of home and love hold us one to another. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, we call to mind those whose yahrzeit we observe this month. Ruth Baker, Peter Barrett, Grace Blossom Silver, John Burnett, Edward Cohen, Lisa Cohen, Milton Cohen, Louis Gerstein, Nathan William Goldstein, Mathilde Heffer, Sidney Isaac, Mark Jacobson, Ruth Kimmel, Clara Krell, Adele Langsam, Burton Leventhal, Ethel Levinson, Beatrice Levinson, Ted Levy, Helen Leaf, Doug Lockhart, Bess Lubin, Bonnie Marcus, Jean Martin, Alicia, Merritt, Goldie Moskowitz, David Mossman, Larry Nickerman, Betty Numeroff, Marshall Palikow, Pearl Rosen, Helen Rosen, Beatrice Rosenbach, Harvey Rowitz, Harry Schwartz, Sadie Slakowitz, Francis Solomon, Shalene Sosland, Henry Trout, Bernice Waldbaum, Merritt Buckweaver, Jack Whitman, James Wolfe, Lucy Amel Yashik, Jochen Yashik, and Morton Zerden. And if anyone else is observing yahrzeit this month.
My
Oh, in April. Thank you. Thank you. And also the loss of Harold Kushner. You may not know his name as Rabbi Harold Kushner, but you certainly would know his book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. And he passed away today with his funeral taking place next Monday. He was a colleague, and I always looked forward to seeing him at the different conventions because you just have to listen to him for 2 minutes and realize what an amazing rabbi he is up in Natick, Massachusetts. And it's a tremendous loss to our community and to the world. The mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 64. And those who wish may join with us as we say, Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechal Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imramein. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Yitzadar v'yitzalev v'yitzhalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran b'yama v'imramein. Yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom v'imramav, huyaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imramein. You may be seated. Again, wonderful to see all of you. And what is our tune? Oh, okay. Adon
Actually,
Olam.
can I offer something to the congregation in honor of your very lovely sermon, Devar?
Sure.
He doesn't know that I didn't think about this until just now. This is a piece by Cantor Ellen Dreskin, who you may have heard of, not sure. It's new-ish, and you all have probably never heard it.
Okay.
But it sparked when you said your thing. Awaken my soul to all its potential. A letter unique in an infinite scroll, both a guest and a gift in this life I am living. May I be for a blessing as I come and I go. I come and I go.
Thank you. That's very nice.
She's a brilliant cantor.
I didn't even need to give a sermon. That was fun. Well, we'll do the Adon Olam on page 6.
The traditional one. You always get us started.
Page 66, Adon Olam. This is the Neil Diamond jazz singer one that he does, if you remember. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefsa kol azai melech shemo nikra acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu hoveh vehu yiyeh betifara hu echad v'yein sheni le'amshilo li'achvira v'li reishi v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra v'hu eli v'hai goali v'tzur chevli v'yetzara v'hu nisi umanos li menat kofsi b'yom mekra v'ya'ado afkid ruchi v'yetishan v'ya'ira v'imruchi gaviati Adonai li velo ira. And let's rise for a blessing. Adonai oz le'emo yitain, Adonai v'rachet emo v'shalom. May the Lord grant strength unto his people, bless all peoples with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ore Pari Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, and thank you for being with us. Thank you.
I play for a little bit. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Thanks for coming. It was lovely. I loved listening to you all sing and your smiles. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.